What am I going as for Halloween? A nerd. Don't act surprised. Pocahontas. If you've paid even a little attention to the political world lately, you know that's President Donald Trump's preferred nickname for Elizabeth Warren, the Democratic senator from Massachusetts. It's an admittedly crude reference to her claim that she is of Native American descent and Trump's somewhat fact-free response that Warren claimed her status as a minority to get ahead in the world of academia. So why does any of this matter, you ask? Well, because Warren is running, should I say considering running, for president in 2020 against, you guessed it, Donald John Trump. Which brings us to what Warren did recently. Out of the blue, she released a 5+ minute video in which she travels back to her hometown, that's Norman, Oklahoma, to ostensibly trace her family tree. The video is slickly produced and has all the hallmarks of a video someone running for president, or considering running for president, would make. There's the folksy conversation with Warren's extended family about their hardscrabble roots, the shots of Warren doing normal people stuff, like walking and pointing at things, and repeated mentions of how Warren's mother always told her family that she was of Native American heritage. And then comes the big reveal. Warren, on the phone with renowned Stanford geneticist Carlos Bustamante, he's an advisor to 23andMe, we've all heard of that, asks whether Trump is right, or her mother is right, and if she does in fact have Native American ancestry. Bustamante responds that
the facts suggest that you
absolutely have a Native American ancestor in your pedigree.
Which, if you ask me, is not exactly definitive. Think of it this way. If I go to the doctor for a physical, and at the end, when I ask him if I'm healthy, he says, quote, "The facts suggest that you absolutely are healthy," I'm feeling good, but I'm not feeling great, right? I'd rather have heard, "You are absolutely healthy. You are going to live until you are 120 years old." The word suggest from Bustamante throws a decent slice of doubt into the proceedings. The conclusion from Warren's DNA test, a test Trump himself has routinely called on her to take, doesn't help her case all that much either. She is, according to the best estimate, somewhere between 164th and 1,024th Native American. 1,024th! That's 0.0097%, which is not a lot. Now, sidebar on the timing of all of this. Warren's people say the results were released soon after she got them, which, fine. But of course, DNA tests measure one thing, and we know ethnic identity is complex. That's something that the Secretary of State for the Cherokee Nation brought up in his response to the whole thing, saying, quote, "Using a DNA test to lay claim to any connection to the Cherokee Nation or any tribal nation, even vaguely, is inappropriate and wrong." That's Chuck Hoskin Jr. He added, "Senator Warren is undermining tribal interests with her continued claims of tribal heritage." Ugh. All of which leaves me wondering, why did Warren do this DNA thing at all? Yes, of course, I get what she was trying to do. She knew that Trump's Pocahontas attack was doing her some damage among skittish Democrats who don't want to nominate someone in 2020 who has a gaping weakness that Trump, the biggest bully on the block, would and could exploit. Warren wanted to show that she couldn't and wouldn't be swift-boated. What do I mean by that term? Democrats are still bitter about the 2004 campaign, in which a number of men who had served with Massachusetts Senator John Kerry on swift boats in Vietnam claimed that he had badly exaggerated his acts of bravery during the war. Kerry was caught flat-footed by an attack on what most people believed was his greatest strength, his military service in Vietnam, and really never recovered, losing to George W. Bush. So Warren wanted to tell Democrats that she was ready for Trump's attacks and had the facts 100% on her side, that he would come at her, but she would punch back hard and effectively. She wanted to reassure them that there was no danger that in nominating her, they could be risking their chances of beating Trump, their last chance of beating Trump, in 2020. A sidebar. Democrats are also still haunted by Hillary Clinton's loss to Trump in 2016, a defeat they lay, at least in part, at the feet of the fact that she simply had too much baggage from past political fights that he could and did exploit effectively, all the while amazingly sidestepping the baggage he had of his own. The problem here is that Warren's video and DNA test didn't tie things up in a nice bow for her or Democrats. Even the most favorable reading of what Warren's DNA test showed is that there's a high probability that she has a tiny bit of Native American blood in her. Now that fact doesn't change this fact, that when the story first broke way back in 2012, Warren initially said she had no idea that she was not only listed, but touted as a minority by Harvard Law School. She then had to acknowledge that she had listed her minority status on some federal forms. Another sidebar, Harvard and the University of Pennsylvania continue to say that her ancestry was not a factor in her hiring. The DNA test doesn't offer any sort of conclusive, beyond a shadow of a doubt evidence of Warren's Native American heritage. And therefore it remains today what it's been for the past 6 years. It's an effective attack line for her political opponents, Democrats and Republicans. Enter Trump. He tweeted, quote, "Pocahontas, the bad version, sometimes referred to as Elizabeth Warren, is getting slammed. She took a bogus DNA test and it showed that she may be 1,024, far less than the average American. Now Cherokee Nation denies her. DNA test is useless. Even they don't want her. Phony." Then he tweeted again. Elizabeth Warren is being hammered, even by the left. Her false claim of Indian heritage is only selling to very low IQ individuals. This is, of course, what Trump does. He boasts, he brags, he bullies. But Warren's DNA test reveal was aimed at taking a potent arrow out of Donald Trump's quiver. Instead, she gave him lots more ammunition. And that is the point. We do this every week, twice. Check back every Tuesday and Thursday for brand new episodes.